a a dam, so to speak.
Yes, let's
Uh,
start.
we have a dam, and then it has the potential for many uses like
Uh,
electricity, for drinking, for agriculture, and yet it remains as a dam, and nobody knows how to tap onto that big
Right.
capacity that is waiting to be converted into energy or some other uses. And so um, I
That,
will give
Kickoff.
the floor
Maybe
to
maybe
Annette.
we can start now. I'm
Yes, that's
here.
okay.
why I'll give the
Sorry. Now we're here. Alam is here. Wow, we're all here. Kaya lang, meron sigurong naligaw pa. I hope, see, we're not
Ba
done
baka na traffic?
now. Oo nga eh. Ano ba yan? Sorry for this hiccup. But at
No,
least,
no problem.
um, I mean, we are experiencing the whole problem of connectivity in the Philippines. And even Facebook cannot handle us. Can you imagine? And in our panic, Vlad and I sent Zoom link at the same time. So we added to the confusion. Sorry. So Vlad, okay, let's begin. We're just going to record this now within your powers to put this live streaming in YouTube or in Facebook, whatever. Then I leave it to your powers, Pau. Kasi I don't know how to do that. Um, hey Vlad, uh, let's let's the party. Let's go.
Okay, so yeah. So welcome everyone. Sorry for the again apologize. We did not really expect that Facebook has this kind of limitation. So we are back to our old friend Zoom. Okay, so let's start first with a prayer, economical prayer.
Sikoy ko kami gimu tolangin. Sikoy ko kami gimu to aldo ay bulan. Ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kabituhunan. Ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kalibutan. Manama, mawantog ka. Warag po ko ilingkoy ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شمل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمم في مدينة دماغ وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the light of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Manama, mawantog ka. Warag po ko iling koy ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko. Busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko.
Amen.
Thank you for that. And now let's hear from our, for the opening remarks and opening message, let's hear from our lead convener, the brain behind it all. Okay, she started this. She's also the convener for the program on escaping the middle income trap, Change for Change, and a UP Center for Integrative and Development Studies. Help me welcome Professor Dr. Annette Peltzman Balawin.
Yay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, friends. I just want to correct Dr. Vlad Kobayashi. This is a collective brain. There's no brain behind it. It's a collective. It's a collective initiative from all of us. So thank you for being here. Salamat. Assalamualaikum to our brothers and sisters in the BARMM and in Bukidnon, and those in BGC in Manila. And I'm from I'm now in the Netherlands, so I'm representing all the Filipinos who are outside of the Philippines. So we are a whole global community, right? So we are a community of from different places, from different faith, from different backgrounds, but we are united in our dream for a better life for our people, especially those who need it the most. especially in the BARMM. So just for a quick 1 minute introduction of why this came about, when we realized that there is so much need for data and information, especially from the BARMM, no? Because the Bangsamoro region has always been that last mile, that where um where help arrives the last, where the connectivity is different, so information and data is very difficult. So with Yasmira and with Dr. Vlad and with James, we realized, why can't we start something? And this is the idea of putting together our youth to help us be the front runners in getting more information, more data from the BARM, because we need that to make better policies, and we need that to make better decisions for everyone, also for business, no? So and it's also a source of employment opportunities for our youth. So when we started this, we only had that idea in our mind, to train young people to collect data. But when we started to be together, we realized, oh, why are we only limiting ourselves to data collection when there's so much talent in our youth? So our ambitions went further and further and further, and that's why now our ambition is really to skill up our youth in the BARM, and we are piloting this digital citizen science specifically in that last mile, which is the BARM in Bukidnon, also, which is also very remote in the Malabalay area. So with Hinilaban Foundation, they're also here helping us. So with a lot of partners, and this is our ambition, that as we go on, we will have more and more and more partners, so that this dream of peace for our region, who has been suffering for so long, I think now everyone deserves to reap the benefit of peace and development. So we hope that this is going to be one contribution, a stepping stone to realize that dream. So thank you very much. We're very happy that you have stayed on. Ang daming gustong sumali, so there are many others who would have wanted to join, but number one, many of them were discouraged. So in the beginning, we were many, and then throughout the process, mayroong iba na na-discourage na, kasi talagang ang hirap ng connectivity, so they just gave up, which is also the experience of many youth who are following online education. Because of the difficulty in getting connected, they just get discouraged, and then they gave up. So that's one. Another other people are someone is his grandfather just died, si Alfahid, so he cannot be with us. And then there are also some who are working on a Saturday, so they can be with us. But we said that as long as they have signed up to that same dream, then no one will get left behind. So we will try to bring in everyone who had wanted to be part of our little project, our little project, but our big dream and our big vision. So yes, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Annette, for that.
Thank you so
Yes.
much, Annette.
Yes. Yeah, I stand corrected, Ma'am. It's actually sort of a joint effort of everyone here, and also from the participants as well. Okay, so for the next part of the program, I'm going to give a short overview of our experience in this digital citizenship science project. Mahirap pala siya i-pronounce, Ma'am, no? Kung medyo kinakabahan ka. Yes, our experiences as well and how this came about. Actually, nasabi na ni Ma'am Annette kung bakit siya na-conceptualize. So I'll just talk more about the our experience na lang siguro, Ma'am. Okay, so let me start by, of course, being a bit formal and saying to our esteemed colleagues, fellow mentors and trainers, and to our dearest participants and partners, good afternoon and peace be with us all. So for the past 4 weeks or so, we have indulged in this sort of, we have indulged ourselves in this so-called digital citizen science. So at least in the Philippines, this is an uncharted territory. And we were, before, what we're doing is we tend to plan, and then nothing comes out from that. Or maybe some, it took us a long time to plan. So what we did is just to jump and really do our thing. And we learn along the process. So we started this a bit 4 weeks ago. So during the training, we have gathered some participants who are committed and who are willing to learn, to understand, and to know more about this digital citizen. So the idea here is really, the idea of digital citizen science is to enable non-traditional scientists to work on problems, so on a scientific way. So that's why that's the main focus. And then another thing is we also want them to not just become data encoders or data collectors, but we really want them to become full-fledged scientists, so that they can also define their own problem, come up with a plan, come up with a data collection plan, and come up with a analysis plan. So during the first 2 weeks, we gave some trainings on the scientific process, and we also gave trainings on how you would go with collecting data. And then on the third week, we actually sit down with the participants and help them come up with some sort of problems, of course with some guidance from us. So what problems that might be interesting from their community or from their locality, and then we try to sort of make it a bit concrete, or make it a bit more relevant in this case. And this is really very important, as Ma'am Annette has already explained, because we have the data lake. It's working and it's ready to accept data. But the main problem is, especially during this pandemic, it's very difficult to collect a lot of data. So what our idea is to mobilize our community and help them, like if they have some problems that they want to solve, help them, train them how to do it effectively and how to collect good data. So yeah, this is a bit a long journey, but this is not the end. So we plan to continue this. And now that we have already our participants who are really committed, then we can pursue some projects of our own. Okay, so thank you so much for that. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of this, the rest of the program.
Thank you so much, Vlad.
Thank you. Okay, so the next part of the program is we would like to hear again from Ma'am Annette, and then we will show you later about the data lake project.
So the data lake project is really what brought many of us together. So this is also why our friend from Accenture is here, and we have started also the conversation with James of Wireless, and it's we really need to solve the problem together. And the first problem is, how do we get the information we need? No, so the information is all fragmented and all piecemeal, and we needed to have the collaborative mindset to put all of those information together. So I was just going to show to you the video, and we call it the data science para sa bayan, because data is for all of us. No, so we have private data. Now we're very confidential. We're very afraid that it will be exploited. But this data is also for everybody. So it has a public. It's a public good. So we wanted to be able to have the data lake so that we can protect and we can manage this very precious thing, which is the data of the information of us all. So Vlad, can you show the video now?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Para sa Bayan is a proactive response to the challenges Data Science para sa Bayan is a proactive response to the challenges brought about by the pandemic. The crisis revealed in particular the weaknesses of our information systems. wherein data is kept in silos, thus making fragmentation the norm. There is no natural tendency to share data. Yet, in order to fight against the pandemic, what is needed is precisely the integration of information and the collaboration of various government agencies as well as other societal actors in order to develop the best approaches to the crisis. Data Science para sa Bayan believes that now is the best time to build an integrated information system to facilitate a whole-of-nation approach. This is what DSPB aims to pilot and demonstrate, being a collaboration between government, BOI, DICT, academe, UP, industry, Accenture, Amazon, and civil society, Focolare, focused on addressing the socio-economic impact of the pandemic. This initiative also coincides with a call for government to seek societal collaborations, as stated in RA 11469, otherwise known as the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. It states that government must partner with the private sector and other stakeholders to deliver these COVID-19 healthcare systems measure and programs quickly and efficiently, and promote and protect the collective interest of all Filipinos in these challenging times. The Data Lake project of DSPB leverages the power of big data and AI to battle against the COVID-19 pandemic by providing the technology, processes, and the broad collaboration of data scientists. In this way, the data lake becomes a common resource pool, transforming data into a valuable asset to be used in order to serve the public good. Why a data lake? The COVID-19 crisis is being called a data-driven pandemic too. That is, massive amounts of information and data are being released and shared at a scale that has never been seen before, augmented by digital technologies and new means of analyzing data, such as with artificial intelligence. In-depth analysis using the latest technologies makes the academe, in view of its multidisciplinary pool of experts and scientists, an integral and indispensable element of a sustainable and vibrant data lake. Data analytics are provided to all stakeholders to craft timely and sound policies for the common good. This is the vision of the DSPB. The pandemic brought with it numerous threats, not only to public health, but to the country's socio-economic well-being as well. The threat to food security and overall economic growth are just some examples. To help the Department of Agriculture monitor the country's essential food supply, the DSPB is assisting government in its data collection needs. Given the urgency of gathering real-time data, DSPB developed a mobile app for DA that will also pave the way for the digitization of DA's operations, as well as the Farmers and Fisher Folks Registry. This ambitious collaboration of government, DA, BOIDTI, DICT, the academe, private sector, and civil society aims to turn the digital divide into digital dividends that will benefit all. An inclusive and competitive society is what our country needs to build our resilience in this pandemic and ensure that the new normal will be one with better institutions and practices.
So that's the data lake project, and they recently developed Bayanihan app. Okay, so after we have heard from us, let's now proceed to hearing from our participants in a what we term as a lightning talks. So the idea of the lightning talks is it's sort of a likened to a lightning. It's quick, so we'll give them around 2 minutes to talk about the experiences and how this training made them sort of understand or realize that this can be actually used to solve some of the pressing problems in their community. Okay, so for the talk, we have around eight participants here. So this will be started by, so let's start now, and may I call Sakayo. Sakayo, please kindly unmute yourself, and if you're ready, you can start speaking. Dito pa si Sakayo?
I don't see him. I don't see Sakayo. I think he has connectivity problem. Even Fatma is happy.
Okay. So maybe we can have Nasiba Abdul Karim Usman.
Yes po. Can you hear me po?
Yes,
Yes,
we can
po.
hear you, Nasiba.
Yes. Could you, if possible, if your speed allows, could you turn on your video?
Yes po. Yes po.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'll start sharing my screen na po. Can you see my screen po? My
Yes,
presentation?
Nasiba, very nice.
Yes po.
Very
So,
nice.
yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to all of us. So, I am Nasiba Abdul Karim Usman. I'm on my third year college taking a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in mathematics. And I am under UVPN, United Voices for Peace Network. And I live in Buldon, Maguindanao. So here, I have here the project title, which is Earth, means environmental awareness and replanting trees to prevent hazard. So this project aims to address the rampant illegal logging and deforestation in our country, in our community. For this issue is very visible to us, to the youth. So what if this issue continues in the future? A chance of adopting this kind of doing is high. Okay, I have to start.
It's okay, Nasiba. It's
No
okay.
issues.
I'll just set my setting to 30 minutes so it does not turn off in 30 seconds.
Ah, okay.
Sorry for the
It's
No,
okay,
no problem.
Nasiba.
yeah. So the content or overview of this presentation is the following: the background of the project, the second one, project objectives, data methodology, and of course the expected outcome. So for the background of this project called Earth, it aims for replanting the denuded forest, local residents' awareness for their harmful actions against the nature, and for the government to provide an alternative solution for people who rely their livelihood in nature that harms the environment. This issue is still continuous, um, although they know the risks we may face in the future, because they see that cutting trees, that deforestation is the easiest way to earn a living. That is why I really wanted to address this problem. So I have here the objectives. The first one is to increase the knowledge of Buldun community on income generation and on dangers posed by deforestation. So I really wanted the Buldun community to be educated in a nice manner, in way that they could understand the significance of having a healthier environment. The second one is to encourage youths in the community and build in them the knowledge of social earnings as an alternative way of cutting trees. So a chance of adapting this kind of issue to our to my co-youths is very possible. It is high. So I wanted my co-youth to understand that adapting this kind of doings is not really good to our community. It kind of it may harm us, not just us the humans, but also the forest, the environment. And last, to advocate on the implementation of tree planting action plan. So this kind of people here in Balloon do catch the tree without replacing them, and this is not a good example for the youths. So next one is the data and methodology. So how can I collect the data? So I'm gonna use a survey, interview, documents, and records. Since some of them are close to me, yeah, that's sad because the people who are still doing this kind of stuff is close to me. Yeah, and this kind of methods may be convenient to me since I know them. So what are the respondents? So the respondents will be the drivers of forest degradation. So the people who are involved in this kind of action. So the data collection plan, where uh, specifically in Minabay, Barangay Minabay, Buldon, Maguindanao, when is on maybe on January 2021. How often? Once a week. For the next, let's move on. The expected output and impact. First one is improved the quality of the natural environment. In this way, we can save our environment. We can maintain the healthy. We can maintain the good environment we have in our community. Number two, the raised awareness in co-youths in the community. So my co-youths maybe will be educated or will learn on how to protect, on how to maintain the good sustenance of our environment or our forest. Tree planting helped and in decreasing global warming. So this is the real issue, the biggest issue, because global deforestation plays a huge role and in global warming. So as soon as possible, we really wanted to prevent. We really wanted to prevent this kind of happenings. And then the last one, protested cutting of trees and promoted plantation. So the impact to the individual, community, and to our municipality or the province is the expected outcome from this project is to have a better educated public that understands the importance and benefits of the urban forest and the tools to maintain and improve it. A public or a community that understands the benefits is more likely to plant, maintain, and enhance the air around their homes and communities. This will result this will result in heal their urban planet. So in conclusion, let us focus let us not focus on the forest. Let us focus on the forest, not the trees. Forests include many types of plants besides trees. So it is not just about planting trees, but about choosing a strategy that restores the whole forest ecosystem, which is the key to providing the full suite of ecosystem services that people expect from tree planting, such as pollination, erosion control, and water purification. It is time to realize the potential for tree planting to help solve some of the most pressing challenges of our time. Tree planting has many potential benefits, but efforts to increase tree cover must be viewed as one component of the multifaceted solution to complex environmental problems that must start by reducing the drivers of habitat destructions and this degradation in the first place. So that should be all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's a very interesting proposition, and we hope we will surely, with the help of our other mentors, we're going to pursue this type of problems about the environment. Okay, so let's have next in line, Jerry Kamid. Jerry Kamid.
Yes po, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes po. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Mapia malulum salkano, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Gandang hapon.
Ako po pala si Jerry Kami, 14 taong gulang at ako po ay nakasalukuyang nakatira sa Mother Barangay Poblacion, Cotabato City. At ako rin po ay nakapagtapos ng kursong Bachelor Secondary Education, Major in Filipino. At ako po ay nakapagtapos na rin po ng Master Degree Batch COVID-19 2020. At yun po yung nangyari po sa aming barangay ay kailangan matulungan ang mga kabataan sa aming barangay dahil po sa ating natatamasa ngayon. Bigyang pansin ang mga kabataan sapagkat sila ngayon ay napupunta sa mga bagay na hindi kanais-nais na gawain. Tulad ng pagkakaroon ng maagang pamilya sa hindi pa dapat sa kanilang edad. Dahil 15 to 16 pa lang, may mga anak na dahil ito talaga ang bigyang pansin at panahon ang mga kabataan. Ang aking advokasya, hindi lang po sa akin, kundi sa aking mga co-youth ng Cotabato City. Tulungan ang mga kabataan na tumayo muli at pakinggan ang kanilang hinayin. Dahil ang mga kabataan ngayon ay nawawala sila ng pag-asa dahil sa nangyayari sa kanilang kapaligiran. Dahil naisip nila ay wala na silang pag-asa, hindi pa sabi ko sa kanila or sasabihin sana sa kanila ay hindi pa huli ang lahat dahil habang may bukas, may pag-asa at mahalaga ang araw natin. At yun po sa ako po itaw pusong nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Citizen Science at ang UBPN, no? Sapagkat ako'y nabigyan ng oportunidad na maging bahagi ng Citizen Science at yun ay maraming salamat po at sana po hindi ito ang huli nating pagsasama. Yan po at maraming salamat po.
Salamat, Jerry.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Yes, yes, for sure. Hindi ito muli because we plan to continue this. Yeah.
Sana po continue pa po yung ating programa. No, hindi lang po sa atin kundi po sa mga out of school youth. Mabigyan ng pansin sila no para ma-voice out nila kung ano yung mga gusto nila po.
Okay. Thank you.
So maybe
Okay,
so Vlad, for the non-Filipino speakers, can you summarize his outcome, his presentation?
Yes. So Jerry talks about the importance of involving youth in job opportunities or providing them job opportunities because a lot of the BARMM, a lot of youth in the BARMM area are marrying at an early age because they have no other sort of options. So it's either they marry early. So what he wants to his advocacy is really to provide job opportunities, trainings, as well as mentoring for the youth in the BARMM so that they can also pursue other activities aside from marrying or having children. So that's it in a nutshell, sir. That's what he talks about.
That was for me and LM.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got maybe 3 or 4 words, so I think I'm ahead of you.
We get
Okay.
the emotion. We understand the emotion. Thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's have the next in line is Humayma Masulot.
Hello? Can you hear me po? Okay.
Yes, my ma'am.
Yes,
Here.
yes.
Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to each and everyone. First and foremost, I am Humayma Labungan Masulot from Municipality of Dato Udin Sinsuat, particularly here in Barangay Tanuel, Maguindanao. As of now, we are facing new normal situation, which the online classes is very needed and significant. In the case of both teachers and students, they really need a data connections for their online classes. In our barangay, we experience poor signal and lack of data connection. Most of the students who did not afford to buy a load for online classes, they preferred to stop on studying and to seek a certain job that is appropriate on their abilities in order for them to help their parents on daily living. Another is for the modular learning. Some schools, particularly here in remote area, facilities here are not really enough to provide modules for the learners. Sometimes it will cause us for delaying for modules distributions. I consider these situations were the biggest challenges in my municipality. Poor signal in selected barangays, lack of financially to buy load for online classes, plus not enough facilities. Those mentioned were both teachers and learners suffered difficulties. Probably at the end of this school year, most of the students cannot learn well, and also the education is not really fair. Um, that is the biggest challenges in my municipality. Okay. And also, I would like to thanks the Digital Science Citizen family, mom and sir. Thank you so much. Despite of COVID-19 pandemic, you enrich our knowledge and personalities to shows everyone that we can able to do more. I can say that this is not the ending, but the starting. I believe on the saying that poverty is not a hindrance to become a successful. I hope to I hope to see each other in person. Inshallah. Thank you.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Maima. Yes, of course. As
Yeah.
I have said, of course, we will continue this and maybe scale this up later. Yeah. Okay. That's also a problem actually, not only in your area but as well as in even here in Davao, a lot of students are experiencing this kind of problem. Okay, so let's have Al Fatah Abdullah. Let's hear from.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We hear you well.
I'll be sharing my screen for just show my presentation. It's
Okay.
just can you see my screen?
I can see your picture.
There's a picture.
Your screen.
Wait. How about this?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
You can see it.
Oh my gosh. What is what I'm Oh my gosh. The presentation. So I think my presentation is not going well, and I think I need to talk it rather than making it in presentation.
Okay. Okay, Al
Okay.
Fatah. That's good.
I'm so sorry for the one. My name is Al Fatah, and I live in the municipality of Buldon, Maguindanao. Uh, I I'm still studying, taking up the Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Political Economy at Cotabato City State Polytechnic College at Cotabato City. Um, I am also an advocate and also an affiliate of United Voice for Peace Network Incorporated. So I I am a peace advocate, and what we are doing, what I am doing in my community is that we tackled about the peace. We ano ganyan, yung rido. So no, we are we are we are taking step to end rido. So what is rido? Rido is a retaliatory act of violence carried out to avenge a perceived affront or injustices between families and kinship groups, and as well as the communities. Rido is a very serious issue in our community because it killed people. Yes, because according to Magno Torres III, there are 5,500 people were killed just because of Rido and displacing hundreds of thousands people. My project actually it was included in a presentation, but unfortunately my presentation didn't go well. But okay, my project was called redo redon redoing kamapian, which means redoing kamapian is doing again, and kamapian is an Iranon term for conflict, Iranon term for development initiatives and also a goodness in our community, in a community. So I think this data science will help the community to figure out what is the really roots of this problem, because this problem remain anonymous because it's something questionable, because we still find it questionable what is the really causes of this very serious issue. Is it a culture? Is it about poverty? Because many people say that it's poverty, people say that it is a culture. Also, um, um, this digital science will help us here in the community to create a possible solution that we can implement in our community. Kasi this issue is not just, it's a very different issue, very serious issue. I think this is the most pressing issue, I think, than terrorism. Yes, because just 5 days ago, 3 days ago, 5 people were killed because of Rido. So I really want to work with this issue, because this is something like, I think, very pressing issue in our community. And I think that's all, because my presentation was, didn't go well. I'm so sorry for the, sorry.
It's okay. By the way, Alfata, could you send us your PowerPoint so that later we can attach it in the recorded video? We can also show it. Can you also provide a sort of pre-recorded for your presentation so that we can attach it? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I think it's
Thank you, Alfata.
Okay, so let's have next in line is Fatma Sanggakala.
It's Mahatma, sir. Mahatma.
Sorry. Sorry. Mahatma Sanggakala.
Yeah.
I thought si Fatma Marua.
Okay, go, Mahatma.
Mahatma, you here?
Yeah, he's here, pero naka-mute pa siya. Ayan. Mute,
You have to
Mahatma.
unmute.
Hello.
You have to
Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay na po.
Okay na po.
I didn't have much time to prepare a presentation. I got an emergency call last night. So by the way, I'm Mahatma Sanggakala, an intern assisting the HR Head Division of United Voices for Peace Network Incorporated. I have known this digital citizen science training program from my supervisor, and thought that joining will help me improve my data gathering skills and understand more of it. So yeah, I learned a lot in this past uh, 2 days with of you. Okay, so there are many problems in our community to mention. That's why with data gathering, we can have concrete data, those problems that will help us to figure out what is needed to do, and what is needed to prepare. In that way, we can help our community to find solution and end its problem. Data gathering is a win-win situation. You learn, you help, you learn. So that to be all. I didn't have prepare any project presentation like the others.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry
It's
for that.
okay. It's okay.
But you just
I
made my
think
day. You helped,
it's
you learn. You learn, you help. That's great.
you learn, you help. Thank you for that. By the way, I'm grabbing the chance to thank the Digital Citizen Science family for this uh, opportunity. And I hope we can work together in the near future. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you
Thank you,
po.
Mahatma.
Thank you, Mahatma. And that yung iba hindi na makaano ma'am because of the internet connectivity, but
Yeah.
I just told them that they can send their pre-recorded video so that we can attach them or we can add them in the recording here. Thank
Okay.
you. And yeah,
Thank you,
let's hear
Mahatma.
now. Sir?
Thank you, Mahatma.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so let's proceed with our presentation from the Bukidnon group.
Who is
Dito
from
na ba-
Bukidnon? Who is, are they here? Leia May, or I don't know who is here from the Bukidnon group. Maybe they were there in the Facebook group a while ago. Now they're not here anymore. So I think it's a connectivity problem because Zoom is more difficult to get into.
Maybe just summarize their project so that people understand what they were doing. Annette, you know them well.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
summarize it for everyone.
Yes. So we have the Bukidnon group is actually from the Hinuluban Foundation, and they have a food security program. Pero they needed to be able to make it very concrete, no? So in terms of if you have a project, you have to know ano ba yung targets mo? What do you really want to achieve? So for that, they needed a baseline information of the communities around them in terms of the nutrition, the health situation of the people, like how many malnourished children are there, how many are suffering from who do not have access to healthcare. And then from there, you could sort of from that information that they can get, they can now plan. Kasi makikita mo, ano ba yung pinaka importanting problema. Then because there's so many problems, diba? So in your communities, you also know that there's so many problems, and the problem is not knowing where to start. So in that case, the best way to start is to prioritize, is to say, okay, so this is really the most difficult issue, and this is where we're going to concentrate our efforts, and then so on and so forth. And this is also why information is very important for the BARMM in general, because BARMM has many problems, and saan tayo magsisimula, diba? Even in your communities, in your barangay, and the people who will know what is most important are the people themselves, kasi kayo yung nahihirapan, no? So with the Malay-Balay group, we're going to help them. We're going to work together, create the baseline survey. At makikita nyo, in many projects, the most important thing is the baseline. Ibig sabihin, ano yung sitwasyon ngayon? Especially if you're going to introduce a project, like let's say after the project or after many years, you want to look back where you started and say, okay, so this is what we achieved, this is the impact. Kung walang impact, then you can also trace what are the reasons why is it that the impact that we expected did not materialize. So I think that's in a nutshell. Sayang wala sila dito, but that's in a nutshell, because they have many projects. So there's also livelihood projects, and this is the family food security program that they want. So they wanted each family to be able to secure their own needs, kasi parang paradox, no? Ang dami-dami nilang lupa, ang dami nilang ano, pero nagugutom sila, pero malnourished yung mga bata. So bakit gano'n, no? Despite all the resources, merong malnutrition and hunger. So that's the program that they wanted to pursue.
Yes. Thank you for this, ma'am. Yeah. So yes, sayang ma'am kasi they actually sent us some materials and for the presentation.
So maybe they can video their presentation, and we'll
Okay,
just
good.
put it here.
Okay, yes. Okay, the one thing I like about this activity is that we are not only doing this like one-sided. It's not only from the academe, but it also involves participants from the community, from the government, and from the private sector. So yeah, after our lightning talks and a small presentation about the Kidnap project, let's now hear from our guests. Yes, our esteemed guests. So our first esteemed guest, I'll just share this screen muna ma'am para makita natin yung ating next guest. Is is a former secretary, also former secretary of the Department of Information on Communications Technology, also a MPC commissioner and chairman of NOW and Nextel. Please help me welcome retired General Eliseo Dio Jr.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor really to be here with you because during my stint at the ICT, the problems that you mentioned are actually the problems you are trying to solve. Now that I'm out of the government, I'm now pursuing solutions to these problems in our private capacity. So in cooperation with people like James, Governor Knapp, and many more who are advocates who had the same advocacies, we are trying to solve the problem so that our youth can have connectivity that they badly need. And that this connectivity is now, according to the United Nations, internet connectivity is now a basic need. Just like food, our clothing, our shelter, connecting to the internet to get information, to get job, to get data, analyze this data is what is the new normal that we are facing. We have to thank COVID actually because it made everybody realize, our government, our people, that information, data, and access to it online through the cyber world is as important as roads, actual roads, bridges in the real world. So it makes you even, in other words, when you physically travel, it takes time. But when you travel through the virtual world, you can go to your destination almost immediately. So maybe just to share with you how we are trying to solve this. If you remember, those who are already having cell phones year 2000, our cell phones then were 2G, no? There are only two services that our cell phone can give then. That is SMS or texting and of course voice. But we had a world phenomenon. We became the texting capital of the whole world, no? And why is that? Because, well, Globe and Smart then were just starting as telcos, no? They 50 years before them were PLDT, PTNT, Bayan. But now they are even bigger than these very old telcos because of their SMS. No? And what made them rich? That 1 peso of texting is what made them actually rich. No? Imagine 1 peso. Because then we were averaging about 1.4 billion text messages a day. So why not try to adapt that concept now with connectivity, no? What if we can connect to the internet with 1 peso, let's say for 5 megabytes, no? Remember, one SMS is only 160 characters. 5 megabytes will give you characters maybe that can fill up 10 pages, single page, a single line, no? So from 160, you can have about 2,000 characters for just 1 peso. And what will that 5 megabits give you? You can go to your email, answer it. You can go to Viber and things like that. But of course, you cannot go to Zoom, no? But you can put in more peso so that you can have maybe a 1 hour Zoom, no? That may cost you about 10 to 12 pesos. So this is the type that must be available to our people. No? If you come to think of it, what is the business that survived the pandemic? We hear of thousands of small businesses folded up. We have so many unemployed people. But what is that business that survived, in fact, grew during the pandemic? These are the sari-sari stores, no? Neighborhood stores that you can go into and get your basic needs. So why not do the same with internet connectivity, which is now a basic need, no? So if we have sari-sari store or an access point run by a small entrepreneur on a franchise basis, no? And then neighborhoods, the neighbors, about 20 or 30 suki, we call them, can go there and, get load, 1 peso. And maybe the sari-sari store or that small entrepreneur can provide some chairs and then have the students get 4 hours classes, no? Because right now we have 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon, or have some people go there to be able to work from home, no? And where would our people pay for this? Very cheap. The way we buy coffee, we buy cigarette, tingge, no? If for example, if a student have to go to the classroom, no, from the home, he has to have transportation. He has to have baon, no? And roughly that would cost the parent about 50 to 70 pesos a day. No? But if that same student can go to the nearest sari-sari store, maybe a few meters away from his home, and spend maybe for 4 hours around maybe up to 15 to 20 pesos, no? Imagine he saved 25 pesos for that. So these are the things that is really badly needed. No? So we are going into that concept, have entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs. If you can afford to put up a sari-sari store, you can afford and get more ROI from your investment if you put up a access point. No, it is similar to an internet cafe but less sophisticated. No, people will bring in their cell phone to your sari-sari store and access them. So it's a bring your own device type. So that concept we think that will click really because of our past experience when these two telcos, they started very small, but are now giants because of 1 peso per text messages. 1 peso for 160 characters. Here we are offering, or we will have our people get for 1 peso 5 megabytes. No? We have thinkers. We need people to work on this. We need software so that a customer can get a load in one sari-sari store and then consume it. No, that load anywhere he goes in the Philippines within that network. So this is where you young people can come in. No? We can conceptualize. In other words, the experience that we have, sari-sari store have been with us for how many? Pre-war pa. In other words, but it is a business that now we have about 1 million sari-sari stores. That is 1 million access points that our people can go to and affordable. No? In other words, just put in 1 peso for your particular need for that day. So this is a concept that, yes, people like you, we will really welcome to participate because this is a common problem. No? Young people, old people like me, I think I'm the oldest here now. No? We need to solve this during our time. No? And as they say, you, the young people, are the hope of our land, of our country. No? And well, everybody depends on you. No? And this is a very good start that you are having here today. And so congratulations on your new life. You are starting a new life on this graduation day. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you so much,
sir.
Jan. Okay, so yeah, yes, there's a lot of opportunity actually in store for our participants, a lot of projects. And yeah, we hope that we will continue with this. Okay, so let's have our next speaker. I will just share my screen para makita natin yung ating next speaker. So our next speaker is the current governor of the Board of Investments. Okay. Let's all welcome Sir Governor Napoleon Concepcion.
There.
Okay, I'm unmuted. So, good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I'd like to I'd like to check with Bloody. Bloody, did you say economical or should it be ecumenical prayer?
Economical yun dapat, sir.
Anyway, yes, good afternoon to everyone, to the first batch of graduates of the Digital Science Citizen Science Training Program. It's a collaborative effort between government, academe, and the private sector. What makes this program stand out above the rest is that it was designed to uplift people, that is, build people up. It's not about money or fame. Business ventures normally are undertaken only when the profit margin is assured. And no activity is ever undertaken unless there is a clear and visible sign of return on investment. Otherwise, this can be a total waste of time. Sayang lang yung pagod. Now, the organizers and mentors are driven by one goal, and that is to build capacity among those who are thirsty. It is not for everyone, but only to those who are answers the call, willing to face the challenges and then learn. There was no, what we can say, a professional promotion of the program. Objectives and goals were open-minded, open-ended, starting with data collection. The objective of your mentors is to open windows, not doors of opportunity. It provides a glimpse of what awaits those who dare to step outside the door. A light that beckons only to the bold and daring. There are no promises of gold or fame. If you are willing, we can go as far as the road will take us. Because this is our journey, yours as well as ours. Remember, COVID has created a landscape where humanity has never gone before. People are taking notice of their neighbors and looking towards their neighbors for solutions to their needs. A digital governance, education, economy is born, and what we need is to build a solid foundation for understanding digital technology to create flexible and agile systems. We need to develop matching digital capacity not just as users, but creators of value and knowledge. We live in what is called a VUCA world. VUCA meaning volatile, madaling mag-iglap, madaling magbago, uncertain, highly unpredictable, complex. There's so many ways of looking at the same issues and so many ways of getting solutions. Ambiguous. You know, the answers can be both a yes and a no. Hindi, hindi yes lang or no, it can be both. So we need to provide solutions to the ever-growing needs of our communities because they are interrelated, interconnected. We thus need agility. Kailangan na mabilis tayong makakilos, makapagbago ng direksyon. Because if we are daring, we might take wrong turns and thus need to discover adaptive strategies. Kailangan mabilis tayong mag-adapt, magbago ng plano kung napamali tayo sa ating mga hakbangin. We also need to stay together. Walang iwanan, sama-sama. Your mentors are willing or can only go as far as you are willing to go. Graduation is not the end, it's just a beginning to a new direction. You are the hope and inspiration of the organizers. The objective, our objective, is to set you free so that you may lead others enter into this bright new world, a new normal. So once again, maraming salamat po and congratulations.
Thank you, Govnap. Very inspiring talaga si Govnap because in fact, Sir Gov is one of the people who actually inspired me to join this endeavor. Kasi si Sir, dapat retired na yan siya, enjoying his retirement. But here he is serving, continuously serving us and giving us sort of leading initiatives to this type of activities in our community. Thank you, Sir Gov. Okay, so let's have let's hear a few words, of course, from one of our speakers during the training. Sir LM Song from Accenture.
Hi, everybody. Very inspiring words, Governor and General Eliseo. I actually want to say that Governor's made a point I wanted to talk about, which is the work you've done, you students have done here, I think is very inspiring. And I love to hear your thoughts. I love to hear how you want to change the world. And recently, Accenture this year we've seen the COVID firsthand. It's impacted us. The global market says we've done well. And I remember my boss, JP, who many people here have met. Boss JP said in one of our meetings, one of our leadership calls, yeah, we managed to grow 3% during COVID when most of our competitors, most of the other companies were at zero or negative growth. 3% was recognized as groundbreaking. We average 10 to 12% growth a year. That shows the impact. But this year, our message with our new CEO, Julie Sweet, her message to us and our message to all of our clients and all of our rivals and competitors and partners is be the change. And what I see here today are young people being the change. And I love it. I love how you're seeing your communities, you're learning digital, you're learning technology, and you're thinking about how to apply that into change to make the world better. And I have to applaud everybody for your thoughts, for how you're going about it. I'm really very inspired hearing everything. And the future, as GovNap, as General Alessio said, you have to seize it, become the change you want to happen, and lead the change as you want it to do. And that, I think, is my takeaway. You've started the journey, you've learned the first steps of digital and technology. Carry on, take that forward, become the future leaders in this new high-tech world. I think looking at the presenters here, we all grew up, as we've heard, in the world without cell phones. I had got my first cell phone when I started work. I remember playing in the street. I remember people phoning houses, not mobile phones. But the world has changed, and you will be the future of it. And I think take what you learn, go forward, apply it, make a difference. And congratulations to everybody here on completing this course. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Song, for that message. Indeed, this new technology could actually, it can be a source of waste of time, no? But we can actually use this technology for the good. For example, to help us collect data and, of course, to coordinate. Just like this, we are doing this through the technology. Thank you for that, Sir Song. Okay, so yeah, so that's all from our guest. So let's have again Ma'am Annette to tell us what would be the next steps, because everyone is saying, I hope this is not the end. I hope that we will continue. So we will hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So horse's mouth is an idiom, okay? Ma'am Annette, please tell us what would be the next step for this project.
So like what Vlad said a while ago, we did not want to start the project with a lot of planning, because many of the plans, the problem is really the implementation and the will to be able to persevere. So the next step is really to continue with this approach. And that's the reason why I'm so happy that General Rio is here, GovNap is there with BOI, and LM, this big Accenture that seems to be so unreachable. All these big companies, these global companies seems to be out of the reach of ordinary people like us. But the fact that they've been very, very, very willing to contribute. So you see that it is not that people do not want to help. It's just that they don't know how, because the structure of partnership is not there, the network is not there. But once the possibility is there, then you see, Accenture is very willing, government is very willing, business is very willing, academe. We really, this is supposed to be our reason of being, right? To skill, to help in the education and the skilling of our youth. So it's not that we don't want to do it, but we don't have the platform, the structure to do it. So this is what is going to, I hope, make this project very different from all the rest, that we are going to do it together, that we are going to develop it together. And like I don't know, Govnap was saying, agility. Can you imagine? You did you see how fast we move? Facebook to Zoom, to Zoom. So Vlad and I immediately put the Zoom, and then we were two, and then some were in my group and some were in the group of Vlad, and then we all came together. I think this is very symbolic. This is very symbolic of what we're going to do. We're just going to keep the group together. And it's very beautiful that some of you said the digital citizen science family, because that's going to be what we are, what we will be more as we go forward. We will create friendships, we will create relationships, and we also saw the potential, because do you know that in the whole of the Philippines, there's only something like, to be exact, only 27% of people who are working that have finished college. And in the BARMM, it's only 16% for female and 6% for male. So when I hear you say, I'm a college graduate, I'm this is my course, you are really like the elite of the elite, because imagine you're part of that 6%, you're part of that 16%. So that means that you have a responsibility, because the more that you have, the more that you have to give, the more responsibility that you have. So the fact that what the youth that we have attracted here are the heroes. You really have to be the heroes for your own people, right? So we are going to so what we realize is that this training program is really going to be a training for leaders, for youth leaders, because then you have to be the one to go out, especially to those who have never even experienced one day of school in their whole life, that they're already working, but they have never even experienced being in front of a teacher and being in a classroom. And there are many of them. So those are the ones that we have to reach, not those who have not been able to study. And because of digital technology, the potential is very big, because now jobs, businessmen doesn't have to go to BARMM, to Malaybalay, when they think, oh my gosh, that's too far, or that's, there's like conflict there. I mean, all of these problems that normal businesses face when they move to a place that they don't know and a place that they're afraid of, all of these things doesn't apply when it comes to virtual investments through the cable, right? Through the cable. So, and this opens up a new opportunity. So that's why I love it when General Rio was saying, we have to build OFW, which is online Filipino workers. So workers that do not have to go out of their uh, of their uh, of their of their homes, that do not have to leave their families and children just to be able to earn livelihood, to secure a dignified life for their family, that they can do it in the comfort and in the blessing of their own homes. So so, LM, stay with us, please. And and General Rio, you give us a lot of hope with the Isari-Sari store, that that from 100 something characters, 1 peso will take us to 10 pages worth of text. And it's 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 mind-boggling what the possibility is, because you know the digital world is that it's exponential, no? So if that's already the technology now, can you imagine what will be the technology next year, and the next year, and the next year? It's just going to be exponential. So before we know it, we're all connected digitally. Imagine, I'm in Holland, I'm in the Netherlands. It's now six degrees here. That's why look, I have double sweater, right? Uh, and yet we feel like we are just talking to each other in our living rooms, in front of a sari-sari store na nagtatambayan. So yeah, so that's it. So what are we going to do in the future? We're going to do the same, which is now we're going to stay and keep the group intact. We're going to brainstorm with you and then with all our experts on how to smart skill. That's the word. How do you skill in a smart way so that we don't build skills that you will not need? So all this training and training and training, and then when you finish a training, you can't find a job. So what we want to do is to train you for the jobs that are there. And that's why we need the collaboration of business, because they have to tell us what kind of skills we must build so that when you finish the course, or the people who are going to train, when they finish the course, they will be able to immediately find a job. Okay, so that's a segue to James, who's going to also tell us about what is out there, what is this enormous opportunity waiting for youth in this digital transformation and revolution.
Thank you, Annette.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
So
you
now we will
also.
proceed now to our, the most exciting part actually for our participants, which is the awarding of certificates.
No,
But before
see,
we go, yes, but before we go there, let's have a first award certificates to our guest speakers who joined us today in spite of their busy schedule. So I will just share you the certificate so that everyone can see. Okay na ba? Can we visible na ba siya for everyone? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I will just read the translation, the citation. Okay, so we award the certificate of appreciation. So this certificate is proudly presented to General Eliseo Rio Jr. for his invaluable contribution in the culminating activity of the Digital Citizen Science Training. Signed by Dr. Jalton G. Tagibao, Convener, Program on Data Science for Public Policy. Dr. Annette Peltzman Balawi, Convener, Program on Escaping the Middle Income Trap, Change for Change. And Dr. Teresa S. Encarnacion Tadem, the Executive Director of the UP Center for Integrative and Development Studies. Thank you, Sir
very
General.
much. Thank you very much.
Yes,
It's a big honor indeed.
Yes, we will send you a soft copy of this, sir, and also a hard copy through mail.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. And of course, we are going to award the certificate of appreciation. So this certificate is proudly presented to Governor Napoleon Concepcion for his invaluable contribution in the culminating activity of the Digital Citizen Science Training. Signed by Convener, Program on Data Science for Public Policy, Dr. Jalton G. Tagibao, Convener, Program on Escaping Middle Income Trap, Change for Change, Dr. Annette Peltzman Balawing, and the Executive Director of the UP Center for Integrative and Development Studies, Teresa S. Encarnacion Tadem. Thank you so much, Governor Napoleon Concepcion.
Thank you very much. Salamat po.
And of course, last but not the least, we'd like to present the certificate of appreciation with the citation. This certificate is proudly presented to L.M. Sung for his invaluable contribution in the culminating activity of the Digital Citizen Science Training. Of the same signatories as the previous certificates, Dr. Jalton Tagibao, Dr. Annette Peltzman Balawing, and Dr. Teresa S. Encarnacion Tadem. Thank you very much, Sir Song.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And of course, for our participants, so I will just read that because this is generic, just generic ang kanyang citation. But we are going to, of course, write your names here. So this is for everyone. So I will just play some graduation music. So certificate of participation. Of course, congratulations to all the participants. You are actually the cream of the crop for all of this. So the certificate of participation is proudly presented to your name for participating in the Digital Citizen Science Training. So I would call this phase 1 month or phase A from November 21 to December 18, 2020. Signed by Dr. Jalton Tagibao, the convener, Program on Data Science for Public Policy. Dr. Annette Balawi, the convener for Program Escaping the Middle Income Trap, Change for Change. And Dr. Teresa S. Encarnacion Tadem, Executive Director, Youth Center for Integrative and Development Studies. Once again, congratulations everyone, and stick with us. More things to come.
Yoo-hoo! Congrats, everyone.
Congratulations, everyone. We will send everyone a soft copy and the hard copy through mail. So please coordinate with Sir Pao for your addresses. Okay, so let's have I must say this is really a very a whirlwind tour of everything, but it ends good. That what's the saying? I forgot. But I think we have this is just the start of the journey. So to close this program, let me call. Actually, there will be two people who will close the program, but let me first call our person in charge from of course, our point person in terms of the industry perspective, who also help us like conceptualize what's a better way to proceed with the training. Please help me welcome Sir James McCorkle.
Thank you. Thank you. I first have to start by giving an incredible appreciation and a pat on the back to Governor Napoleon for actually bringing me into the project with the referral from the BARMM and introducing me to Dr. Annette, because you're the first that I know of where you basically put together a digital platform, which usually is something Accenture does for a government. That in itself, you are to be commended. And I also have to, kind of give my ultimate gratitude to General Rio, who I met shortly after I got here, where he was already doing God's work in trying to change the digital straitjacket that is on your country. But I came here because I am a businessman. I'm in the BPO industry. I was the 4th largest BPO in the world for healthcare, working for the 2 largest companies that enable the industry. But that was for medical transcription, and that was in 2000, back when you guys were doing the text messages for 1 peso. The world has changed. So I want to start by pointing out one thing that was said earlier in the Data Lake program. It's a whole of nation approach to providing solutions, which is a big word. It's a big idea when you have a whole of nation approach to solution development, right? But I bring it down to it takes a nation, or it takes a village to raise a child for you to get something done, because sometimes it's the child who can raise the village. And when I got into this, I wanted to really understand, because Annette called me one day and just said, James, Saturday, let's start a training program. I I'm a businessman, and I know LM, you know, when we're in business, hey, if there's an opportunity, we don't have to plan. You just do it, right? So I wanted to see the level of commitment that these participants had, because as Annette, as Governor Napoleon, as LM, and as I know, and I have to give also some credit to my boss, Dr. McCorkle, who also volunteered her time at my request to put together the overall program, right? But you know, I've been touched 3 times during this program. One when the riddle, you cannot have industry without peace, but you can't have peace without those sparks that start the flame, which are the youth. And I'm very comfortable. I'm an IP. My family moved off the reservation. I'm 2nd generation. I'm also raised in poor communities, so I understand. But you know, Mahatma put it in the right words. Learn to help, help to learn. It's not all about just the money. The money will come if you're good at helping, right? Whether it's a business solution, a social solution. Just get out and do what's in your heart, make a commitment, and we'll be there for you. That's what I have to say. And I challenge, you know, the supporters, and I challenge the industry to really put us to task. So we've got 3 projects right now. General Rio had spoke of one. The eSari Store network we want to launch in the BARMM. And I'd like to find those who want to help expand on the micro scale, the connectivity that's needed for wealth generation at the micro scale. Because the Sari Store is the micro scale. We also have an agriculture and connectivity project that I want to bring to Malay Balay, partner with Microsoft. That's something we will do with the Malay Balay, the Hiniluban group. But I think this eSari Store crosses industry. Once you have the data, then you can begin. You can dream. And I think from Accenture side, we may have started for healthcare, sir, but we're now going into other industries. And I want to find more participants who want to help to learn and learn to help. That's the citizen component part is why I'm here. And that's why I believe we will be successful. So I am your coach. I am your mentor. I am your commercial interest. And that's why I think we will be successful, because it takes a village to raise a child. To raise a BARMM, it's going to take a commitment from academe, from commercial companies, from industry, and from good people like the senior leadership that has actually caused this to come together. So with that, I just wanted to say thank you. And I want to thank Yasmira and Fatma for being the best guys to bring the best recruits you could ever have. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir James. Yeah. Our last actually is the person who actually brought together, who is instrumental in bringing together these participants. Let's all welcome Ma'am Yasmira Munir.
Thank you, Sir Vlad. Okay, allow me to greet you the Islamic greetings of peace. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. No, I'm deeply honored and actually so inspired by the words of General Rio, Gov Napoleon, and of course Sir Alem, Annette, James, and of course to our young data scientists. No? I think on behalf of the MSU-IIT Institute for Peace and Development in Mindanao, no, I believe so that I am deeply privileged to be able to be part of this. How do you call this, transformative movement, I guess, because we are all connectors here. Though in a deeply polarized world where there is such a tension, and it is so ironic that that this pandemic really has amplified our divisions, socioeconomic inequalities. As mentioned by our participants from Maguindanao, people are marrying young, not because of choice, but because it's a way of survival, and that's very sad. Because supposedly we are at a time when we are supposed to be given such an opportunity to be able to be to discover ourselves and to be of help, and to transform the world for the better. um, Working for peace, aside from, of course, I'm now the OIC of the Peace Institute of Iligan Institute of Technology, which is actually just like UP. It's a system. Mindanao State University is precisely conceived as a social laboratory, as a marketplace of ideas to mainstream cultural communities like the Bangsamoro people and the indigenous communities. And I got emotional too when Sir James was actually trying to also reminisce how from our unfortunate past we were taught, of our differences rather than our similarities, rather than our shared aspiration. And I was also, I remember there was one public policy expert from NUS, like he was saying, Philippines really is such a rich country, but with so many poor people. And why is that? Maybe perhaps because there is such we're stuck with that idea of victim mentality, perhaps, or that sort of like we get stuck with our past, but then after that we don't, like we sort of get paralyzed with a conflict and we don't move on. We sort of like just freezing there without really looking at how do we, move from that getting stuck process. And so, but today, and I think my dream of progressive, of an inclusive, of a culturally inclusive society that is in BARMM and hopefully throughout the country has been validated, because we have this young data scientists who are actually trying to feel, that we need to think beyond our tribal differences, that we need to break that ethnocentric bubble, that you are better than I, or she's better than he, or something like that. I think now is the time to truly make that rhetoric of inclusive and moral governance as an action word, not just an adjective. So with that, I would like to renew my personal commitment here on behalf of course, MSU, IAT, and thank you so much to this awesome team. I was saying, Sir Vlad, that you did a very good job in actually trying to be so enthusiastic. And despite the technical glitches, and this is life, whoever comes here are the right people. And now is the right time to actually start these things, this transforming our dreams and making it into reality. Because the truth is that it is not over until it is over. And I think there's a lot of conspiracy theory from we got a lot to do in terms of convincing people that the world's not gonna end tomorrow. That the world's gonna end the moment you stop dreaming and the moment you start to work on how you can improve yourselves for the better. And because and perhaps because I'm biased with the discipline, like having a choice is not really just given the opportunity to choose, but also being able to think that I am not actually given the choice because I am not making that choice. So my challenge to the young data citizen scientists here is that start an initiative, create that platform, move, sustain that passion in your heart, and that and stay grounded, stay humble and make a difference to your communities, because you are not just the hope, you're actually leading your own communities. And we are here for you. We're on this together. We're all in this together. We are like a boat. We sink together, or we sail together, or we sink together. So that's how COVID really is. Like, yeah, I agree with Sir Rio that COVID really has tried to make us think about what really matters, relationships, and being able to also provide food on the table. Because let's face it, we can live in our ideal world, but there's also the material world. So while we keep, stay that idealism, keep the flame burning, but stay realistic as well. We have to make those ideas a reality of our own, and that we have to break that this idea of like, okay, it's just the job of the government, because the truth is that let's also ask ourselves, what can we do for our country? What can we do for this whole global community that we're in? Thanks to Annette and to James, and this is such an amazing team. Like, super glad that we're starting this. This is a culminating, but I guess that graduation or commencement, as we would call it, is also a start of a new journey, a journey towards a sustainable, inclusive, and a very humane kind of development, where business is being conceptualized for peace and for development, sustained development. So again, maraming salamat, sanggibuas salamat, and let's stay connected, stay in touch, and this is just the beginning. Keep the faith and the hard work, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yasmira. Indeed, we are. Thank you for sticking with us. We are almost at the end of the road. May I request? We are almost at the end of the road, but of course, we build the road from here on forward. So I think this is. I think that's it. But may I request everyone to turn on their camera, because we will have a photo op. Yeah.
The most important moment of the day. the group picture. Okay. Yes. Give me your best smile. Okay, 1, 2, teka. Okay, May, Camila, Nasiba, Sandrula, Alfata. Okay, Raina, habol ka pa. 1, 2, 3. Raina, one more chance. Wala na. Yun lang talaga. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Bye!
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you, everyone. That's it. And yeah, let's keep in touch.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
Watch out na lang kayo sa ating mga further announcements.
Yes.
Happy weekend. Happy weekend.
Bye.
We'll wait. Happy weekend.
And happy holidays.
Bye, Sophie. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Holidays.
Thank you, organizers.
Happy holidays.
And Alpha.
See you soon.
Camila, bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Shukran.
Afwan.
Bye, Sir James.